Have you ever wondered about the man whose teachings influence nearly 2 billion people today? The man whose name is one of the most common in the world? We're talking about Muhammad, a figure of immense historical and spiritual significance. But who was he, really? Beyond the headlines in the textbooks, what was his life story? Join us as we journey back to 7th century Arabia to uncover the incredible life of the Prophet of Islam. This is a story of an orphan who became a prophet, a merchant who became a leader, and a message that changed the world forever. Muhammad was born around the year 570 in Mecca, a bustling city in the Arabian Peninsula. It was a place of great contrasts, a vibrant center for trade and pilgrimage, but also a society grappling with tribal conflicts, social inequality, and polytheistic traditions. Tragically, his father passed away before he was even born, and his mother died when he was just 6 years old. Raised first by his grandfather and then by his uncle, Abu Talib, the young Muhammad experienced the hardships of being an orphan early on. Despite these challenges, he grew up with a sterling reputation. He wasn't known for being a warrior or a poet, which were highly valued skills at the time. Instead, he was known for his character. People called him Al-Amin, the trustworthy one, and Az-Zudiq, the truthful one. He was a shepherd in his youth and later became a successful merchant, known for his honesty and integrity in business dealings. It was during this time that he worked for a wealthy widow named Khadijah. Impressed by his character, she proposed marriage. And despite their age difference, they shared a loving and supportive partnership for 25 years. For years, Muhammad felt a growing unease with the social and spiritual state of his society. He was troubled by the idol worship, the mistreatment of the poor, and the constant tribal warfare. Seeking solitude and clarity, he would often retreat to a cave on Mount Hira, just outside Mecca. It was here, during one of these retreats, in the year 610, when he was about 40 years old, that his life changed forever. According to Islamic tradition, while meditating in the cave, he was visited by the angel Gabriel. The angel commanded him, "Read." Muhammad, who was illiterate, replied, "I cannot read." The angel repeated the command twice more. Before revealing the first verses of what would become the Quran, the holy book of Islam, the message was simple yet profound. There is only one God, the creator of the universe. This was the beginning of his prophetic mission. The first person he confided in was his wife, Khadijah. She listened, believed him without hesitation, and became his first follower. Soon, a small group of close friends and family, including his young cousin Ali and his close friend Abu Bakr, also accepted his message. For the first few years, the call to Islam was private, shared among a trusted few. They preached a radical message for their time: the oneness of God, the importance of social justice, charity, and accountability for one's actions on the day of judgment. When Muhammad began to preach his message publicly, he faced fierce opposition. The leaders of Mecca, particularly from his own powerful tribe, the Quraysh, saw his teachings as a direct threat. His call for monotheism threatened their polytheistic beliefs and, just as importantly, the lucrative pilgrimage business centered around the Kaaba, a shrine filled with idols. They ridiculed him, called him a madman, and accused him of trying to disrupt their way of life. The opposition wasn't just verbal, as more people, especially the poor and enslaved, began to embrace Islam. The persecution intensified. His followers were mocked, boycotted, and physically tortured. Some were even killed for their faith. Despite this, Muhammad preached patience and perseverance. He taught his followers to respond to hate with kindness and to stand firm in their beliefs. The core community remained steadfast, their faith strengthened by their shared struggle and the powerful verses of the Quran being revealed to him. After a decade of relentless persecution in Mecca, a pivotal moment arrived. An invitation came from the city of Yathrib, about 200 miles north. The people of Yathrib were plagued by their own internal conflicts and saw in Muhammad a fair and respected leader who could unite them. In the year 622, in a carefully planned migration known as the Hijra, Muhammad and his followers left Mecca for Yathrib. This event was so significant that it marks the beginning of the Islamic calendar. The city of Yathrib was renamed Medinat an-Nabi, the city of the Prophet, or simply Medina. Here, Muhammad's role transformed. He was no longer just a preacher. He became a statesman and a community leader. He drafted the Constitution of Medina, a groundbreaking document that established a multi-religious state, guaranteeing the rights and freedoms of all communities, including Muslims, Jews, and other tribes. It created a framework for mutual defense, social justice, and peaceful coexistence. In Medina, the first mosque was built, serving not just as a place of prayer, but as a community center, a school, and a seat of governance. The foundations of a new society built on the principles of justice, equality, and compassion were laid. However, the threat from Mecca remained. A series of battles ensued between the fledgling Muslim community in Medina and the powerful Quraysh of Mecca. These were not wars of aggression, but struggles for survival. After several years of conflict and a strategic truce, the balance of power began to shift. In the year 630, Muhammad marched towards Mecca with an army of thousands of followers. But what could have been a bloody conquest turned into a peaceful victory. The leaders of Mecca, seeing the strength and unity of the Muslims, surrendered the city without a fight. Muhammad entered Mecca not as a vengeful conqueror, but as a humble prophet. He went to the Kaaba, the sacred structure believed to have been built by Abraham and his son, Ishmael, and destroyed the 360 idols that had been placed inside and around it, rededicating it to the worship of the one God. In a moment that has echoed through history, he granted a general amnesty to all his former enemies, the very people who had persecuted him and his followers for years. He asked them, "What do you expect of me today?" They replied, "Only good. You are a noble brother, the son of a noble brother." He then declared, "Go, you are all free." With the conquest of Mecca, Islam spread rapidly across the Arabian Peninsula. Tribe after tribe sent delegations to Medina to accept the faith. In just over 2 decades, a message that began with one man in a cave had united a fractured land under a banner of monotheism and social reform. In 632, just 2 years after the conquest of Mecca, Muhammad led a final pilgrimage known as the Farewell Pilgrimage. On Mount Arafat, he delivered his last sermon to a massive gathering of over 100,000 followers. His words were a summary of his life's teachings, a reminder to worship God alone, to treat women with kindness and respect, that all people are equal, regardless of race or social status, and to hold fast to the Quran, he famously said. An Arab has no superiority over a non-Arab, nor a non-Arab has any superiority over an Arab. A white person has no superiority over a black person, nor a black person has any superiority over a white person, except by piety and good action. Shortly after returning to Medina, Muhammad fell ill. He passed away in the arms of his beloved wife, Aisha, at the age of 63. His death was a profound shock to his followers. But the legacy he left behind was indelible. He left them the Quran, the Word of God, and his own example, the Sunnah, as guides. The life of Prophet Muhammad is a story of faith, resilience, and transformative leadership. From an orphan in Mecca to the leader of a new world religion, his journey was extraordinary. His teachings on monotheism, justice, compassion, and equality continue to inspire and guide billions of people around the globe. Understanding his life is key to understanding the history and heart of Islam. Thank you for joining us on this historical journey. If you found this story insightful, please like, share, and subscribe for more content that explores the fascinating figures and events that have shaped our world. See you next time.